Now it's my pleasure to introduce a new collaborative partner of ours. This is a wonderful lady who is a real pioneer in corporate wellness and in the field of whole person wellness. Absolutely amazing background. To get us back on track, though, Jan, I'm not going to read through your unbelievable list of accomplishments. But I will tell you, over the last 6 months or so, we have come to really appreciate our partnership with Jan. She has expanded and opened our eyes to a whole new world of possibilities as we look at things not just through the lens of chronic illness and how to treat people's sickness, but how to focus on prevention in innovative and creative ways. And so with that, it's my pleasure to introduce Jan Montague, President of Whole Person Wellness Solutions, a subsidiary of Life Enriching Communities. And Jan's going to highlight some of the great work that she's doing in partnership with us.
I'll really bring this down. I am standing up. So those of you that only see the bobblehead up here, this is about the best I can do. It's a pleasure to be here with everyone. This has been an exciting year for those of us involved with Innovation Council. One of the unmet needs that was uncovered was this complete lack of knowledge. I won't say complete, that's too global of a statement, but tremendous lack of education and enlightenment by the business community about the potential and possibility people have as they get older. We saw a recurring theme that getting older meant being ill. And I have a saying I use all the time, and the saying is, it's difficult to change your perception if your perspective always stays the same. So moving to whole person wellness and using that as a lens in which we see the world is our perception, how we choose to see our life. We're finding a lot of businesses, their perspective or where they're standing, where they're viewing aging is through the lens of illness. So we have an unmet need. We have many stories to tell about all the wonderful things that can be made possible for people as they get older. So Whole Person Wellness Solutions was founded by Life Enriching Communities as a for-profit entity to advance that thinking and to advance strategies, outcomes, processes, and systems for organizations to move to that perception. So that's who we are in a nutshell. We will be working cooperatively with Linkage, with two of the Linkage groups, the Linkage Connect and Linkage Ventures, as we continue to uncover unmet needs. So one of the things, Steve, we go to the next slide. I had to laugh. Scott asked me to share with everyone that I'm a pioneer in whole person wellness. I could not find a photo of myself on the Conestoga wagon as I was coming across the country. But I was able to go back in time and find this picture. Yes, that is me. And those are truly shorty shorts that I have on. I don't wear those anymore. But back in the 70s, in the early 70s, I had brought a lot of my knowledge about wellness back to Cincinnati. I'd moved away for a while, and I had the good fortune of opening a company called Fitnique Physical Fitness Systems in the 70s. And Cincinnati Magazine, they always do best in Cincinnati. And I owned this business for about 15 years. And we were in almost all the major hospitals, and we had about 30 some odd locations throughout greater Cincinnati and northern Kentucky. But I want you to notice the headline there. That's 1979. And back then we were talking about wellness and what it meant to look at the whole person back in 1979. So yeah, I'm not cooking around the campfire there quite yet, Scott, but it is a long history of of trying to bring this message to many different industries. One of the places I was recently was I was recruited out to Kansas. And Lakeview Village, it's a large senior living CCRC in Kansas, and they asked me to create an applied center for research, a living laboratory on their campus. And we were able to get several $100,000 from the state of Kansas to fund this living laboratory research center. So just very briefly, in the 1 year we put that living laboratory together, using wellness outcomes, we were able to document over an $800,000 savings to that organization by just looking at one aspect of how we changed processes, strategies, and systems to wellness instead of an illness model. And then I was recruited back here to Cincinnati, and fortunately, Scott McQuinn asked me to join the Life Enriching Communities. But as a for-profit, we've really been working with quite a few organizations all over the country. You might not realize that cities are even asking for our help. We've recently had a large contract with Oklahoma City. So all of Oklahoma City passed a tax credit that was worth many millions of dollars, and I think it's $7.9 million. And the goal of that sales tax is to improve the health and well-being of all older Oklahoma Cityans. And what kind of strategies as a city do they have to put in place to make that happen? And we've also been working with the University of Nebraska Medical School to help them change their whole curriculum to whole person wellness. So this is where we're going. This is we have to go in this direction and move away from illness. Steve, let me just kind of briefly make sure you know what we're talking about. This is the model. I actually am the person that coined the term whole person wellness quite a long, long time ago. And it's different from the word wellness. So whole person, meaning that we truly do embrace the multidimensional nature of individuals, regardless of age, regardless of physical function. It's relative to the individual. And what really makes whole person wellness different, it's the center of that model where it says personal wellness. It's really about our self-talk, how we're perceiving our life, and how we're taking responsibility for ourselves. And another really key piece to whole person wellness is the concept of self-efficacy. So the research is telling us today that we truly must choose our friends wisely. So who we choose to surround ourselves with and the messages that our friends, co-workers, and important people in our life are giving back to us help shape and form our perception of ourselves and our ability to think about being well. So self-efficacy. Do I believe I can be well, and do I intentionally surround myself with people giving me that same message? It's critical to our well-being. And Steve, let's go to the next one. So this is the definition. It's very simple. We try to make wellness be very hard. It's that we must recognize that we're whole people. We're multidimensional in nature. And it's about positive health and not just negative health. We're more than the number. So perception is reality in a wellness model. I can be well and still have multiple chronic diseases. It's critical. And it's all about my perception of well-being and quality of life. The other key components of the whole person wellness model is that we have to understand health behavior change strategies, that we move people along in different methods. We have to really capitalize on what's called social learning theory, meaning that we need to see role models. So we need the stories coming out of senior living. We need more of the stories about people living wonderful, engaged lives, just like you've been telling the stories for the awards. We need that message out there more and more as we're using social learning theory to get people to think differently about the aging process. The ecological model we have to implore with a wellness model because environments play a critical role. So the environment I'm in can either enhance or inhibit my personal wellness. And finally, remember Psychology 101 when you were back in college, Maslow's hierarchy of need. So we also utilize that model. Now, finally, Steve, how we'll be working with Linkage Connect and with Linkage Ventures, it's almost 4 different pots. One pot is creating these living laboratories, so we have to make it real. We need the data. We need to try things out. We need to move to a new model of wellness and away from illness. So that's one pot. We've got to make it real in our senior living environments. But then we also have business that needs to be enlightened. They need to move along. They need to just stop developing products for people's illness. We need more organizations and businesses to help embrace wellness. Another part is the education piece. So tremendous lack of education in the business industry, but I also, because of my experience of working in this field, we have a lot of misinformation even in the senior living industry about potential and possibilities. So education, a major pot. And then finally, we have to really work on how do we develop these new processes, systems, products. And so we have to have a team approach of using all of this knowledge base from all of you, and then people living out in the broader communities. So it's quite a lot of work to do. It's where we have to go. I'm confident we can get there. And I want to thank Linkage, really, for the insight and vision. We did find out from Red 212 that the wellness concept, whole person wellness, is a lightning rod for people. They want more of that information, but they know they don't know enough about what it means and what it could be. And there's our niche, tremendous unmet need. So I'm excited to be moving forward with all of you.